Okay, just imagine for a second a world where a new organ isn't donated, but printed for you, or a prosthetic limb that doesn't just fit, it fits perfectly. I know, it sounds like science fiction, right? Well, it's not anymore. Today, we are diving headfirst into the absolutely wild world of 3D printing in medicine. This is a technology that's literally rebuilding healthcare, one tiny layer at a time. And that quote, that right there, that's the absolute heart of this whole revolution. See, we're moving away from that old one-size-fits-most way of thinking about medicine. What this tech does is allow for a level of personalization that, honestly, was just unimaginable before. We're talking about creating devices that mesh with your body in a totally new way. And this analogy just nails the difference perfectly. It really is approximation versus perfection. Think about it. A traditional implant? That's like buying a suit off the rack. Sure, it kind of works, but it was never made for you. A 3D printed implant, though, that's pure custom tailoring. It's made from your data for your body. It's this huge shift from mass production to, well, you could call it me production. All right, so this first section is all about the incredible promise here. And it all starts with flipping the entire model of medicine on its head. We're going from mass production to me production. This is a future that's going to be deeply, radically personal. And it all starts with you, the individual patient. And what's so cool here is that these benefits aren't some far-off dream. They're real, right now. We're talking about things like prosthetics that are way more comfortable and functional, simply because they're a perfect match. Or dental implants that just fit seamlessly. And get this, surgeons can even print custom tools for a single super complex operation. They can literally practice on an exact replica of their patient's body before they even pick up a scalpel. It all boils down to more precision, more comfort, and just plain better results. But look, personalized devices, that's just the tip of the iceberg. Now we're going to get into the really mind-bending stuff. We're going to explore how this tech is pushing the absolute frontiers of medicine, printing a new reality for treatment that, I swear, sounds like it's straight out of a sci-fi movie. Just take a look at the range of applications here. It's incredible. And it's not just about making a physical shape, it's about adding function. So now we can print implants with these tiny porous structures that actually encourage your bone to grow into them. Or we can embed them with antibacterial stuff right from the start. We can even print pills with super precise doses that release medicine exactly when and how your body needs it. And then there's the big one, the most futuristic of them all, bioprinting. Yeah, you heard me right, bioprinting. We're talking about using a patient's own cells as the ink to print living tissue. And the ultimate goal here? Well, it's to print complex working organs on demand. Just think about that for a second. This could one day completely wipe out the organ transplant waiting list. It could end the global black market for organs. It could even get rid of the whole problem of your body rejecting a new organ. It's just a staggering thought. And listen, this is not just some far-off fantasy. The groundwork is being laid right now. Labs are already successfully printing simpler tissues, things like skin for burn victims or cartilage to repair joints. They're even printing networks of blood vessels, which, is absolutely crucial if you ever want to keep a bigger, more complex printed organ alive. The momentum is definitely real. So the potential is just astounding. It feels almost limitless. But, and this is a big but, with all this incredible promise, we've got to hit pause for a second and ask some tough questions. Because when you suddenly have the power to literally print the building blocks of life, you also invent a whole bunch of new ways for things to go catastrophically wrong. This new frontier, it's definitely not without its dangers. And that brings us to the other side of this double-edged scalpel. We've got to talk about the really deep safety and ethical problems we have to face. Because before this code of creation can become an everyday thing, we first have to really grapple with all the hidden costs. And man, the challenges are huge. I mean, how do you even guarantee the quality and safety of a device when it's totally unique every single time you print it? And what about this? Who owns the digital blueprint for a patented medical device? And maybe the biggest question of all, who gets access to these amazing, life-saving, but probably very expensive technologies? This really is one of the most critical questions we have to answer. Is 3D printing going to make medicine more accessible for everyone? Or is it going to create a brand new level of healthcare that only the super rich can afford? The cost of all this could easily make the gap between the haves and have-nots even wider, creating a world where only a few get this amazing personalized medicine. The goal, of course, has to be making it available to everyone. Then you've got the whole intellectual property mess. If you can just scan and print a life-saving device, what's to stop someone from pirating the digital file and printing their own? On one hand, that could totally kill the incentive for companies to innovate. But even scarier, it could open the floodgates to a bunch of counterfeit, totally unregulated medical devices that could put people's lives at serious risk. And we can't forget about the data itself. We are talking about the most personal, sensitive information you can possibly imagine, the literal digital blueprint of your body. So protecting that data from hackers, from being misused, that's absolutely critical. A data breach here isn't just a privacy issue. It completely shatters the trust that the entire system is built on. So, okay, with all of these thorny challenges, how in the world do we move forward safely? Well, the answer isn't to slam the brakes on the revolution. No way. The answer is to build some guardrails. We need to create a really strong regulatory system that can guide all this innovation without crushing it. Here in the US, that huge job falls mostly to the FDA. And let me tell you, their task is monumental. I mean, think about it. How do you apply the old safety standards to a technology where the factory is just a printer on a desk and the product is brand new and unique every single time? It's a total paradigm shift from the world of mass-produced identical parts. So to handle this, the FDA's approach isn't just about checking the final product. No, they have to scrutinize the entire process, from the digital file to the physical device. You can think of it like this. Every single one of these steps is a place where something could go wrong. Is the patient's initial scan perfect? Is the software file free of glitches? Are the inks, the actual printing materials, pure and consistent every time? And is the cleanup and sterilization process absolutely 100% flawless? Every single step needs to be checked and double-checked. It's about building a chain of trust from that first click all the way to the final implant. And this quote from the FDA really hits on a perfect example of one of these hidden challenges. It sounds so simple, right? Cleaning. But how on earth do you guarantee that a super complex, porous, 3D printed implant is perfectly sterile, not just on the outside, but deep down in every little nook and cranny? The very things that make these devices so amazing are also what make them a total nightmare to clean and sterilize for use inside a person. So where does all this leave us? Well, it feels like we're standing at a major crossroads, right? We're looking at a future that is just packed with incredible promise, but also some really significant peril. At the end of the day, what this all boils down to is this. 3D printing isn't just a fancy new tool for manufacturing. It's a complete shift in how we think about and do medicine. It holds the promise of a future where care is truly deeply personalized. But, and this is the key, if we're going to get to that future responsibly, the innovation can't be allowed to outrun the oversight. We have to build that framework of safety, of fairness, and of trust at the same time we're building the technology. So yeah, the power to literally rebuild and reshape the human body, it's here. It's not coming, it's here. And so the final question for all of us really is this. Do we have the foresight? Do we have the wisdom to build a social and ethical framework that's just as strong, just as precise, and just as revolutionary as the very things this technology can create?